What's up everyone? Welcome to my YouTube channel, well my main channel. I'm wearing sunglasses because it's actually 11 p.m. at night. There's no good lighting and my makeup is making me look not very fuego. I intend for this video to reach the right audience and to help as many people as possible. Okay, today we're going to be talking about manifestation. Of course, I have so many videos on this, but I'm going to explain it from multiple different perspectives today. I'm not really in the manifestation community. I know people are incredibly defensive over whatever they practice and preach. Some of you guys like affirmations, you follow Neville Goddard, other people prefer Abraham Hicks, Joe Dispenza, or you're religious. And there's so many more other faiths as well. The thing is, everything intertwines. It is all the same. So I don't really want people in the comments going, this is Neville Goddard, this is da-da-da thing. Everything intertwines, okay? And I'm going to explain it all to you. My mom first got me into this from a very early age. She gave me The Secret. From there, that's when I started to read a lot of other books. I was honestly very, very woo-woo already by the time I was like 10. By the time I was 10, I was like, I'm an indigo child. I've worked with many healers, many different thought leaders, esoteric coaches, and I know this is not going to resonate with a lot of people, and this is why my extreme woo-woo, which is not even woo-woo, methods and beliefs and what I've learned from studying with these people, I don't share it on the internet. Because one thing, one of my coaches who's worked with a lot of important people in the world, he taught me is that our ego will block us from receiving the information if we're not ready for it. So a lot of people's soul will never accept the truth. Even if they need it, they won't accept it. That's why a lot of people, they might just want to stop at Neville Goddard, for example, because that's what their soul needs. If I brought in, or someone else, all of this other information, they're going to be like, that's stupid, I reject that. And honestly, you would find it out in your own time if you're interested. This video, I just want to explain manifestation concepts and also link them together. Everything is in our mind. Everything exists in our imagination. What does law of attraction say the 3 steps are? You ask, you believe, you receive. You decide, you assume, and you persist. So how do they actually link? First of all, you have to know what you want. If you don't know what you want, how can it come to you? If you're projecting scattered thoughts into the universe, thoughts are a frequency, you're going to get scattered results. Where attention goes, energy flows. You need to decide, and then you need to focus on it. And that's where believing and assuming comes in. Because everything is in our imagination, if we assume it to be real, it must be real. The law of attraction would then say, you must believe it to be real. And then Joe Dispenza would say, you need to get into the frequency of the person who already has that thing. Neville Goddard will also say you need to live in an end state of already having it. A lot of other people, they like to use affirmations and repetitions, subliminals. How do these all interlink? There's no one way that's right or one way that's wrong. If we're using affirmations, what is it doing? Repetition is rewiring your subconscious brain, rewiring your beliefs, which therefore is going to change your energetic frequency. When it changes your energetic frequency, that is when you can be on the same level of the frequency of the thing that you want, and that is when it will come in. Now, if you're not someone who likes to do repetition, you need to figure out how to get into this end state frequency without doing these techniques. Maybe you're really good like a child and you're able to make believe. You're able to make believe, feel it real. SATS, state akin to sleep, is a Neville Goddard method where you envision a 5-second scene, sound, lighting, touch, all the senses, and you feel it real, and you repeat this in your mind because the mind doesn't know what's real from what's not real. So you believe it to be real. You assume that it's coming, and you need to assume by feeling it viscerally that it is done. Everything happens now. It is instant. We're collapsing time. Why are Joe Dispenza's meditations so powerful? Because through his breath work at the beginning of the video, through his techniques for getting you to almost get out of your body, he's shortcutting this process and helping a lot of people collapse time. I say a lot of people because for the vast majority, it's really difficult to get into the state through his meditations. It takes a lot of practice. Some people even report seeing aliens and otherworldly beings during his meditation, which does happen when you can get onto another frequency. But this is what I said. I'm not going into this stuff, guys, because your ego will reject it, simply put. So let's stay on topic. There's so much more we can go into. We can go into the Hermetic principles, but guys, this video would take so long. And I know I'm gonna get a question about this. Simone, what do you think about tarot cards? Because I talk about my tarot cards all the time, and psychics. Psychics are people with special abilities to be able to read your current energetic state. And your current energetic state is linked to whatever the current future you're in is. Remember how I said you have free will, technically, so you can change the reality you're in and get on a different path. A psychic will basically be reading your current reality. So say, you know, you go to a psychic or you do a tarot reading and you're like, yo, is my SP coming back to me? And you're in this like awful negative state. And then a psychic, depending on their abilities, will be able to might be able to tap into their energetic state or communicate with their spirit guides. I don't know, sorry, it's getting woo-woo. Communicate with their spirit guides or use whatever other means they have to get an answer for you. But everything can change. So people who are clairvoyant, clairsentient, the other clairs, they have a very open third eye. And opening your third eye is not for everybody, because you'll be able to see things that might freak you out. Last year I was like so depressed after my father died, and I used a psychic who connected to him, and that was what brought me so much healing. And actually I was okay after that. But it's really important that you find the right psychic who can connect to your energy, because not all of them can. And that's something I've learned. I've probably worked with like 15 psychics over the past 3 years until I found a few that I really resonated with. So I currently use Psychic Source, and when I join a new platform, what I do is I look through the reviews, and I also look at who has the most good reviews, obviously, and whose photo I connect with, because energy is super important and you should read their bio as well. I worked with Angela. I really recommend Angela, you guys, because she was so blunt to me. She didn't sugarcoat anything. She didn't want to waste my time or money. Not anyone can be a psychic with Psychic Source. Actually, they only take 2% of the psychics who apply. Everyone is brilliant. Their gifted advisors follow a comprehensive code of ethics, and every reading is meant to give you hope, healing, and empowerment. They are so confident about their psychics. They have a 100% money back guarantee. So if you're not happy with your last reading, it's free. They will also donate 1% of every purchase to a charity of your choice at no extra cost to you. And the best part is, Psychic Source is giving you guys, my community, a very special deal. If you go to trypsychicsource.com/Simone2 or click the link in my description, you can connect with an advisor immediately and also get your first 40 minutes for only $19.80. There's no other service on the internet that comes close to offering this kind of deal. So if you have a question or you need some guidance in your life, you need to communicate with someone, why don't you go try a psychic? Head to my link right here, claim your offer. Thank you again to Psychic Source for sponsoring today's video. How can you get into the end state? You need to find out what works for you. Some people swear by repetition. I don't like that shit, because I would rather listen to music than affirm all day, honestly. If we are affirming, it will happen, because anything that repeats in our world, I'm more of Joe Dispenza's law of attraction. That's how I like to operate. I like to put it out into the world. I like to believe for it to be real, and I know it's going to come true. We have a predetermined pathway. Kabbalah says this as well. That's why everything we desire, we have free will up until a certain point. We have free will to choose from different realities, but if we do not change our reality, guess what? You're going to go down that predetermined path. If you want change, if you want to manifest, you can't try to fix your external world. You need to fix your internal world first, because whatever is going on internally is what is going to manifest externally. Drill that into your brain. So how this applies in my life personally, if I have a chaotic outer world, like things just seem to be going wrong, I know there's something wrong in here. And you have to work to find that. Because you might not be consciously thinking these thoughts, but at a subconscious level you are. And when you're able to access your subconscious mind, it can be truly so scary. Really be so terrifying to realize you were thinking this way, and you've been thinking this way all along, even if you were not conscious of it. So you attract your vibration. You attract what you are. A lot of people get scared. What if I'm depressed? Am I going to manifest bad things in my life? The truth is, it can happen if you hold this repetitive thought over and over again, and eventually that becomes who you are, which is why you need to actively try to change these thoughts. And I know it's easier said than done. I was violently depressed last year, and one thing that made me even more depressed was how terrified I was of my mind. And I was terrified that I would manifest my thoughts. I was terrified I would actually manifest myself. And those thoughts weren't me. If you just think these thoughts but you're not actually embodying it, don't worry. If you start to embody these thoughts, that's when I would get worried. This is a principle from Kabbalah, but if you want something in your life and you're like, why isn't it coming? Have you considered that you haven't made space for it? For example, a lot of people might be manifesting love and their soulmate. How do we manifest love? Figure out what type of person you want, get on the frequency of love, and you make space for them in your life. I would say I have always been manifesting love. And guess what? I attract what I write down a lot. This is something I had to be honest with myself recently. And then a couple of my friends clocked to me, they're like, Simone, I don't actually think you're emotionally available, because when these people appear, you push them away, and then you're like, where is my husband? I don't make space for him in my life. Literally, a guy said to me, you've been single for so long, do you think you're ready for a man? And I went, no. Like, I don't think so, actually. I like my life, I like my routine, I'm probably not ready. And that's something we have to be honest with ourselves as well. Are we the ones sabotaging? Because sometimes a desire can come and we sabotage it along the way. Even my fashion brand, I don't even know if I've been manifesting that. Maybe I like the process or the struggle more than the actual release of it. Because of that, I realized I was manifesting so many issues along the way, so many manufacturing issues. Everything that could go wrong would be going wrong because I was literally creating this world. And also my energy was scattered. Part one, what do we say at the beginning? You need to have focused thought. My energy was scattered to all these different projects. How can you create something so big if your energy is scattered? Energy is so powerful. We can do remote healing. We can heal ourselves if we have focused thought and intention, and we're clearing our energy, we're clearing our chakras. Okay, we're going too deep. Let's go back to manifestation. Intention is so important. You must have intention for everything. Everything you do. Even if you pick up your phone, be like, I intend to not poison my aura. I intend to not absorb any negativity here. I intend to get what I want from this device. I intend to Even when I'm washing my hair, Dubai water is very bad. Some days my hair's great, some days it's bad. It's really a crapshoot. And what I started to do recently, when I put my shampoo on, I go, I intend for this to clean my hair and make it long and beautiful. Since I've started doing that, my hair's been so much better, virtually instantly, which is why it's so important to be careful with our subconscious mind, because whatever you're saying is still impressing our subconscious, especially if it is a very powerful, emotionally charged thought. This is another thing. People say you need emotions to manifest, and it's true. But let's go a little deeper into this. People say robotic affirmations, you don't need emotion, and then Joe Dispenza, we need to feel it real. Law of attraction, we need to feel it real. Both of these are right. What is essentially happening is we're shortcutting the way to receive our manifestation. By repeatedly saying this affirmation, what is happening? You're changing your subconscious, therefore you're changing your frequency. You think you're broke. I'm rich, I'm rich, I'm rich, 50,000 times. Okay, now I believe I'm rich. Oh, I feel like I'm rich. You don't want to do affirmations. Okay, let's feel it real. I'm gonna feel that I'm rich. By the way, this is a lot harder than doing this because a broke person does not know what it feels like to be rich. But Joe Dispenza's meditations can be really great at getting you into that frequency actually. And I also have other methods for this, which I'm going to talk about in another video. So I feel it real. I'm doing my meditations. I'm raising my frequency. I'm feeling like I'm rich through this money meditation. It's exactly the same. It just depends on what way you want to do it. The end goal is we want to change our state, who we are. And if you change your state, that is what manifests. Your state manifests. Who you are is what is going to manifest. Why is it important to detach? It's because if we put something on a pedestal and we obsess over it, we're actually creating lack. We're realizing that I don't have my desire, so it's not in my reality. It's like people want to manifest SP, specific person. SP is on a pedestal. I love SP. SP broke up with me. He's so far from me. He's never going to text me. You're affirming, you're meditating, blah, blah, blah. Hey, guess what? SP can't come in because you are in lack. You know he's not with you. How would we bring SP in? I'm already with him. I've cultivated an inner world where we are already together. I've cultivated love for myself. The love he feels for me, I feel like I already have it. Boom, magnetized. When something's on a pedestal, we're actually just pushing it away because it's not in our reality and we know it. I want to leave you with this. My recommendation is pick your poison. Do you prefer affirmations? Do you prefer meditating and feeling it real? You can also combine it. But the best thing to do is in your everyday life, just try to be on a higher frequency. Really choose the media you consume, set your intention, do your protection. Really think about what you want as well. Regularly monitor your thoughts. Because if you're thinking these negative thoughts, you need to snap out of it in the middle of it. And do everything you can to raise your vibration. Eat better foods, work out, go in the sun, do Ho'oponopono. I'm gonna make a video on this afterwards. Ho'oponopono is literally a miracle. It raised my frequency so much. You'll see when you are on a different frequency, miracles will happen in your life. This is actually my next video. You might not even know what you're manifesting, but suddenly everything starts to align. And when you start to align, you start to get onto the path that you're meant for. You might be so lost, start to raise your frequency, Ho'oponopono, start to raise your frequency, things just start working out. And it's happened for me time and time again. Okay guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. This is not the woo-woo one. I just wanted to explain a couple of different topics and merge them together. If you're new to manifestation, I hope this made sense for you. Don't forget to go check out the Mind Formula, Slave Society, and I will see you next time.